See Family Records. Learn to find your family in the 1910 census. What can be found? Homes, names, relationships, gender, race, age, marriage, children, birthplace, immigration, language, employment, education, veterans, and health. This 1910 page is from New Garden Township, Chester, Pennsylvania, sheet 9A. It was taken April 26, 1910. The census was taken by William P. Miller. This copy was found on Ancestry.com. We will study Lydia Thompson and others from this page. We find Lydia Thompson on line 38. She is a sister-in-law of Edgar Pratt. We show two streets, Newark Road and Bucktoe Road. Looking at Google Maps, we find Newark and Bucktoe Road in Chester, Pennsylvania. This is a street view of Bucktoe Road. Lydia Thompson and Edgar Pratt are in the 195th home and the 195th family to be visited by the census taker. Column 26, owned or rented. Column 27, mortgaged or free ownership. Column 28, farm or home. Column 29 is number of farm the census taker had visited. Row 26, owned a home and it was mortgaged. Row 28, owned a farm and it was mortgaged. Row 32, rented a home. Row 35, owned a farm and they owned it. Row 26, owned a farm and it was mortgaged. Relationship. Lydia Thompson is sister-in-law to Edgar Pratt. Gender. Lydia is listed as F for female and Edgar is M for male. Race. Lydia Thompson and everyone else on this page was listed as W, white. On this snippet of another census page, we see that B stands for black. Age. Lydia Thompson is age 62 and Edgar Pratt is age 60. Marriage. A person's marital status is given. Lydia and Edgar are listed as widows. Other markings are M for married, S for single, and D for divorced. For couples who are married, there is also a number next to their name. This tells how many times the person has been married. This man has been married 2 times. Next to the marriage couple are the years the couple has been married. So the couple that has been married for 20 years was married about 1890. The couple married 16 years was married about 1894. The couple married 40 years was married about 1870. Children. In these 2 columns, it asks how many children a woman had and then asks how many children are still living. Lydia had 5 children and all 5 children are still living. Jenny had 2 children and neither of them are living. Bridget had 4 children and all of them are alive. Birthplace. In these columns, we learn about the person's place of birth as well as their father and mother's place of birth. We see that Lydia Thompson and Edgar and their parents were born in Pennsylvania. Below them, we see that Timothy and Bridget and their parents were born in Ireland. Immigration. In these columns, we learn about immigration dates and state of citizenship. NA is naturalized. All paperwork for citizenship was complete. PA is papers for citizenship have been started. AL, alien. no paperwork for citizenship had been started. Just under Lydia Thompson is Timothy and his wife Bridget. He immigrated in 1882 and she in 1888. He is a naturalized citizen. Usually when the man was naturalized, his family also became naturalized citizens. Language. In column 17, it asks if the people are able to speak English. If they cannot speak English, it then asks what language they speak. Everyone on this page could speak English. Employment. This slide and the next slide show some of the jobs listed on the page. Farmer, general farm. Plumber, general work. Teacher, public school. Own income. Farmer, general farm. Servant, private family. Farm labor, general farm. Laundress, at home. Servant, private family. Hod carrier, house, a person who carried bricks. Nun. Trunk maker, fiber works. Education. There are 3 questions asked about education. Can the person read? Can the person write? Did they attend school? Attending school was a question about the children. Veteran. Column 30 asks if the person is a veteran of the Union or Confederate Army or Navy. If this column is marked with a VA, then it would be a clue to look for military records for this person. On the page with Lydia Thompson, we see on row 32, William Van Dever was a veteran. Health. The last 2 columns, column 31 and 32, ask if the person was blind or deaf. No one on the page with Lydia Thompson was blind or deaf. I used a snippet from one of my relatives in Cedar Lynn, Iowa. She and her husband were deaf and dumb, couldn't speak. 1910 Census Challenge. See if you can find the following: a relative in the 1910 census. Find a person who had more than 7 children. Find the street your relative lived on. Find the street on Google Maps. Find a person who was a veteran. The end.